The Thief antagonist has been added to the game, and it's a pretty simple antagonist to explain. Three thieves currently can appear around start with other syndicate agents or revolutionaries. So those two game modes, if they get selected, will have dual type antagonists now. And here is just an example of my current thief objectives. Steal 15 of any ID card, steal a fire axe, steal 15 of any figurines, steal 3 head cloaks, and escape to CENTCOM. The basic directives are you're not a murderer, you're forbidden to kill, and just steal. And in your inventory, you'll have tools to help with that job. Other than the survival box, obviously, there are two distinct items. The Thief Undetermined Toolbox and a pair of thieving gloves. These are thieving gloves, you can chameleon them. They help you steal things faster and with less indication. Your main toolkit is in this Thief Toolbox. This toolbox is filled with unspecified contents. Now you need to remember what you put in it. Choose up to 2 different sets from the list. There are 7 different things to choose from, and you must select 2. The chemistry kit comes with a storage implanter, DNA scrambler implanter, and some chemicals. Those chemicals are actually omnazine and ephedrine, so you can run faster. The bear catcher comes with 2 C4, multi-tool, jaw of life, pair of advanced welder meson glasses, and insulated gloves, so it lets you get through walls pretty efficiently. Chameleon's kit just comes with a full set of chameleon gear, so you can disguise yourself anyway. Then there's the Syndicate, which comes with an agent ID card, Syndicate PAI, and 10 TC. This one's definitely going to be the hardest to make use of. Either you have to steal an uplink and be able to use the crystals, or you can work with a syndicate agent maybe. But this one's pretty much entirely useless on revolutionaries because there will be no syndicate agents to work with. So the TC will be useless, and you basically just be buying an agent ID card. The Sleepwalker's kit comes with 3 Nocturne vials, a hypo pen, and a tank of sleeping gas. This is a really, really good value. That is a ton of TC if you were to be a syndicate. You couldn't even buy all this by yourself. So it's very, very powerful, and definitely the kidnapping kit should be the alternative title. The Communicator's kit pairs very well to Sleepwalker's kit. It comes with a radio jammer, portable crew monitor, master key for all station channels, voice chameleon mask, and money. And with that money, you also get flash protection because you get sunglasses. And finally is the Smuggler's kit. Inside, there is 10 fultons, a fulton beacon, an invisible crate, and the invisible crate is just a crate that's always invisible. You can push it around. You can fulton yourself. It lets you store things in a plain sight because it's basically just a stealth box. And for some of these items, like, I can't possibly carry 30 ID cards on me, or 15 ID cards, 15 figurines, and a fire axe on me all at once. So having somewhere to stash things is really good, and having a basically invisible place to stash something is even better. Anyways, the Thief Antag is going to be causing some minor mayhem, and you can get objectives to steal things from heads directly, like the hypo pen or the hypo spray, for example. I foresee this having some awesome drama in the game and is a very, very welcome addition. The Terminator Antagonist has been added to the game, and they're actually a pretty simple antagonist. They can appear mid-round. They will appear as a naked crew member. They will have no ID and absolutely nothing on you, completely naked, which means no access to things like maintenance. Your goal is to terminate one person, and that's it, and then die. You are to shut down after killing that one person. Kill the target at all cost. So you're going to have to get pretty creative with how you're going to play this antagonist. Picking up something like just an oxygen tank could be a pretty solid melee weapon, and trying to get clothes is a pretty big priority as well. There is nothing preventing you from just killing a passenger or something and taking their identity, because getting access to maintenance will definitely help. Anyways, once you find your target, you just have to kill them. And once they're dead, you will get the green text, and you need to shut down, which could be like suiciding or just fighting until you're completely dead. It is up to you. The Terminator has some very interesting damage types. If you do 100 heat damage, you will burn the flesh off of the Terminator, or 200 of another damage type will also destroy the flesh. The Terminator is borderline invincible to every damage type except heat and shock related damages, so keep that in mind. So if I just laser rifle him a few times, you will see the seared flesh is burned to a crisp, revealing a titanium endoskeleton. The Terminator then will become their true name, the NT-800 for this example. Inner powerhouse of Sunset Infiltrators androids, ridiculously hard alloy on the inside, unassuming flesh on the outside, so that is a Terminator's true form. This form is basically a last resort. They have no hands, but the one thing a Terminator gains at this point is that they're slow, but their fists actually do quite a lot more damage, and at this point they may be able to finish the target off. Do keep in mind that slimes are resistant to blunt, so if your target's a slime and you're down your endoskeleton, you might have some issues. So yeah, the Terminator is actually a pretty simple objective. Get stuff, kill your target, and die. It is simple, but adds a lot of drama for specifically one player. Having the idea that you're the only target that an antagonist is looking for is kind of scary. It's basically just a hitman and obviously a Terminator reference, but more antagonists are awesome because this can really spice up rounds. Structural resistance has been changed, and I'm just going to keep it short to cover what you need to know as either like a syndicate player. So for example, if I punch any of these objects with my fist, I don't do damage to them anymore. Before, you actually used to be able to damage doors doing that. Now, there is different resistances for different objects, and you can kind of use logic for it. A reinforced wall is much stronger than a sturdy wall. A normal wall can actually take the damage from blunt because there's specific resistances for it. And an airlock door is the weakest of this three, meaning that you can actually do damage, a lot of damage with different tools with it, as long as they do a decent bit of damage. More or less, prioritizing melee weapons with the highest individual damage types is very important here, because if I pull out the pickaxe and hit the solid wall, I wouldn't actually be doing damage with the normal damage types, but this one has really high structural damage. That still does not let me hurt the reinforced wall, and that does let me hurt the door. Now we have secure crates, which again have their own different damage resistances. As long as you're going over a certain threshold of damage, you will actually be able to damage these crates. So baseball bats and pickaxes are great for breaking into crates and low level walls, but I'm going to have no success hitting this crate with a crowbar. We'll have no success hitting a wall with a crowbar, not even enough to do damage to a glass airlock. Coal has been added to the game, and it does what you would expect. You can find coal on asteroids and on planets. You mine the coal, you bring it back to your ore processor, and that lets you make recipes like steel. You need 2 coal for every 6 steel ore in order to make a full stack of steel. Coal is used for nothing else right now other than making steel. You can now bump into external airlocks to open them. This is really nice quality of life and makes it so you don't have to always hover over them and press E, and some people didn't even know you could do that, so it's also helpful for new players as well. Fresium has been added to the game and is by far the most complex reagent in the game. It takes very difficult to get gases to actually create. The effect is it heals burn, it makes you colder, and it has a really interesting OD effect. If you go over 40 units, it will freeze you in place until there is less than 40 in your system. So I've hyped on myself with 50 units. You can see the message there, your legs have completely frozen up. So with a lot of injections, you can actually freeze someone in place, and you will actually freeze their internal body temperature down to the point they will start freezing to death as well. It was a very interesting reagent. Security glasses have been updated. They are now tier 2 research. But security glasses are a 2-in-1 solution. They're like sunglasses to protect you from flashes, but they're also like the set cut and show you job icons and mind shield status. So it is a research. They're not round start, so you're going to see them a little bit less, but it's nice having both in one. Then you don't have to remember which pair of glasses you're wearing at the time. You can now breathe through Hardsuit helmets and EVA helmets without a mask. If I just toggle my helmet, toggle the breathing, I'm having no problem breathing. Uranium ammo has been added to the game. It is a tier 1 research, and you can produce these in the security tech fab. Something like 35 auto, it does 6 radiation, 10 piercing. A uranium shotgun shell, it does 3 radiation, 5 piercing. That is very powerful though, because radiation is a very painful bullet to heal. The bullets themselves actually don't look any different than normal bullets, so it's actually will be tough for somebody getting shot to know they're getting shot by these radiation bullets as well. It's interesting for security to use, but it is certainly a powerful bullet against nukies because they are most likely not carrying anti-radiation medicine on them. The ore bag of holding has been added to the game. It is actually only a tier 1 research under salvage equipment, so you can research this fairly quickly into a shift. It is worth mentioning, though, that it does cost silver, plasma, and uranium to craft it, so salvagers will have to do some work in order to get their own upgrades. Anyways, it is basically unlimited storage for ore. You put it on your belt, you walk around, you will suck up more ore than you could ever possibly use in a ship. The last thing I'll cover this week is that Borgs can always see job icons now. And the way it works is that if anyone has a job icon, they are automatically considered crew, so that is to make your laws really easy to follow. That also means if Nuki steal an ID or just board the station with an ID, they're also considered crew. So you just have to basically look for the job icon, and then you can decide what to do from there and how to interpret your laws. This week, I am unfortunately not going to have the time to fetch the full patch note list. If you really want to look for the specific things, you can view the changelog, which is also unfortunately having some issues at the moment, or you can check the GitHub. The GitHub is the best way to stay up to date with all the changes in the game anyways. Merry Christmas, everyone. I want to thank all of our maintainers and contributors for all their hard work, and happy holidays.